Hello, everyone. Good morning. How are you? This is Dagmar, your spiritual teacher and healer. And today we'll be talking about an exciting subject, working with energies and frequencies. Actually, quite important to understand as a healer, right? So before we get started, there is a prize to win today. And the prize will be actually a 20-minute free reading, clairvoyant reading with me, either phone reading or Zoom, depending on if your phone is international or US based. And the prize question that will be posed will be throughout the video. And so I want you to pay attention to get the prize question, because what you need to do is answer that question in the comments below this video sometime today. It doesn't have to be during this particular live, but it has to be today sometime. And that will enter you into the prize drawing. And then I will select the winner later on, either this evening or tomorrow. So, so I wish you good luck with winning the prize, if you're interested in that. And then today I have some amazing information for you. And this video also will be on replay. I'm recording it and it will be on replay, available for a limited time. And so you can watch it later on today or tomorrow, or a few days after that, if you can't catch the live this morning. And so we will be getting started here. So, you know, if everything is energy, which everything is energy, why couldn't we alter the state of our vibration as well as our reality using energies, vibration, and or frequency, right? The only difference between an orange and a mango is it's got different energy, it's got different vibration and a different frequency. Okay, and that's all it is, right? You know, and why couldn't we actually use energies or frequencies or vibrations to alter our state of health? Of course we can. Absolutely we can. And I've been doing that for years in my spiritual healing practice. And I've come to learn a variety of different things to actually also support the body, the physical body, in the healing process, using as well energies and frequencies and such. And some of you might be doing some of that as well and don't even realize it, okay? So sometimes, you know, it requires a different mindset to be open to accepting different ways of healing or different ways of achieving health than other than what we've been programmed to believe to be true in our Western medicine culture. And there's been a lot of programming happening in our Western medicine culture for many years. And some of us are very stuck on, you know, what something needs to look like or feel like in order for it to be, you know, something we're accepting as helping ourselves become healthy or be healthy. And I've had that same issue. In fact, I made a video yesterday about that whole concept about a 5D mindset or developing a 5D mindset. And I speak about that. If you haven't seen that video, I would recommend it. It kind of goes into a few things on, you know, shifting gears as we're moving higher in vibration. And, you know, we need to, you know, get away from that old programming and change our mindsets to accept other things. And, you know, the doors will incredibly open for us with other possibilities as we do that, as we become more open, you know, because life never gives us more information than what we can comprehend in the moment with where we are, you know, vibrationally or emotionally and so forth. So with that said, you know, why use energies and frequencies to heal with? Well, first of all, they're much easier to use. They're much faster. They're not invasive. They're extremely effective. And they get amazing results. And it is the future of 5D medicine. Okay? That's where we're all headed. So how do we use some of these frequencies and vibrations in practical ways? Let's look at that, right? So in my healing practice, for example, I've put together a modality called Ariel Quantum Healing. And I've used energies and frequencies for many, many years now to heal with, okay? And it is so much simpler, so much easier, and so much more effective to use that. And so, like, for example, some of the energies I've used, one of them is unconditional love, okay? A lot of people think of love as in romantic love, but did you realize that love is actually an energy, okay? The same with the energy of forgiveness or compassion, and there is multitude of other energies you can use, or I've used in my modality to heal with. And as it turns out, unconditional love is actually one of the most transformational energies that is in existence on our planet that we can use to heal with and transform with. And the other thing that I've been using in my healing modality is actually colors. You know, colors have a certain vibration, have a certain energy about them. And the interesting part about it is it's like our spirit knows what color we need. And so in order to heal certain something, so in my modality, I usually ask the person what color they want to use, and they come up, it just shows up for them a certain color. And so using that color will help with the healing process. Now, what's so interesting about using these energies, it's different, a little different from how we naturally heal things. And when I talk about healing, I'm talking about healing. What are we healing? We're healing, pain, basically, right? And usually it's unresolved pain. Pain we haven't fully processed. That's what we're healing. That's what healing is all about. And so, in the natural way, there's a natural way we heal, okay? But in the natural way, the way it works is through repetition. And that is why we quite often repeat certain dysfunctions that we haven't fully processed. And we keep recreating situations, we keep drawing certain people in order to repeat going through that pain with the idea that that's going to help us digest the pain. Now, quite often, it depends on what we do with it internally, because if we shove it again, we just created another pain event or painful event on top of the last one, right? And this is what happens, say, for example, we create patterns, like the pattern of abuse, that we pass on from generation to generation. And so, but the whole idea is through repetition that we actually, through the process of repeating it, will hopefully put enough attention on the whole pain so that we actually process it. And I can tell you an example out of my life, personal life, where I had a very tough marriage. I married very young. I was 18. I left, but I also had other events going into that, which is I left my home country. I left my home. I basically had a child at the same time. I had a little baby boy at that age, and I was married. Okay, and so there was so many changes, and then I came to the US, and it was a very difficult year and a half. He actually took on to drinking and drugs, and it wasn't pretty. And I experienced a lot of pain around that. And I remember actually personally sitting in front of the bathroom mirror, going over certain events, talking to myself, repeating repetitively, constantly going over them. And this is how we naturally heal, right? Constantly repeating them. except you got to understand it took me 10 years to try to digest this year and a half. Okay. Wherein once I got involved in actually professional healing, like I know today, like I do with Ariel Quantum Healing, you know, you're talking about reducing that 10 years down to maybe, you know, a couple of hours and being able to heal something with the energy of unconditional love and forgiveness and so forth, and helping you digest that pain. See, much different way of healing. All right. Much more effective. And so I just wanted to give you a couple examples, right, of different ways of healing things. And then also the use of energies like unconditional love and forgiveness, etc. The interesting part about it is, like, for example, forgiveness, you know, quite often people have a hard time forgiving someone, you know, and it doesn't matter how much they think about, you know, that it's for them, not the other person, but, you know, they just can't do it. And I always tell them, well, don't worry about it. Just go through the motions of doing what I say to them to do, how I guide them through the process using the energy of forgiveness. And you know what, whether they feel it or not, it still works. Okay. It still works in helping them digest the pain. So it's very effective using energies. Okay. And just to let you know, I mean, I've healed things like, for example, you know, say, you know, one client had 20 years of hip pain, okay? And she went to acupuncturist, she tried yoga, she went to doctors, they told her she's got arthritis in her hip. I mean, she tried all sorts of alternative stuff, nothing helped. She came to me and it turned out it was a past life injury in her hip. And we actually helped her heal it with the process that I use, Ariel Quantum Healing. And you know, using the energies of unconditional love and forgiveness and all that good jazz. Well, she walked out of my office that day without any hip pain, okay? Now, in Western medicine, all right, the procedure, the process would have been, after years of experiencing pain, you know, people tend to get what? They tend to get a surgery and hip replacement, right? And so, and quite often they do it because they can't stand the pain anymore, and not necessarily because there is no cartilage there, but, you know, that's the Western medicine way of solution for that. They don't have any other solution for that. So you have that option, or the other option is over here, using energy such as unconditional love, forgiveness, and so forth, and understanding how to utilize them such that we can process a pain that even occurred in a past lifetime, all right, and not be in pain anymore. You know, totally eradicate the physical pain we experience. So that's the possibility of using energies. Okay, the difference, that what I'm saying, it's easier, it's not invasive, it's faster, right? Something that Western medicine is not capable of doing. So that's just putting that out as an example to help you understand. So then we have, besides, you know, my modality, I mean, we have things like Rife frequencies. Have you heard of Mr. Rife? This was a gentleman by the name of Rife who actually invented a machine called the Rife machine for the purpose of healing cancer. Unfortunately, as it goes, you know, he was shut down because it was effective. And so he couldn't use it because the medical industry is very much into wanting to make profits and they do not want to see you healed. So he was shut down. But fortunately, there is lots of different short recorded videos called Rife frequencies that you can actually use for free for many different purposes. And they're also very effective. And I've used them quite a bit in the process of actually physical health, my physical health. Things like, you know, killing fungus inside of your body, okay? Or in your bathroom, you can just play the sounds in your bathroom and it'll kill the fungus. And it's through basically sound and vibration. You know, you can kill off certain fungus. Now, the same thing with bacteria, viruses. Or you can do things like if you have anemia or low red blood cell count, you can play a frequency to help raise your blood cell count. You know, I mean, you're facing basically, instead of that, having transfusion done, perhaps, or I don't know what other methods they have, blood transfusion in the hospital to increase your blood count or whatever they do. But, or you can use right frequencies. It's really, and some of them are extremely effective, and it depends on, you know, you have to kind of experiment with them, what works for you, your particular situation, you know, or low or high blood pressure, or even white blood cell count. Increase your white blood cell count, which is your, you know, killer cells, your immune system, you know, boost your immune system, things like that. I mean, there's all kinds of right frequencies out there, all sound and vibration. And I've used a multitude of them to help myself, help my body, aid my body in recovery and healing as I was detoxifying all kinds of poisons and so forth in my life. So that's another set of frequencies that can be used. Now, here's an interesting one. There is actually, I don't know if you use an electronic toothbrush or electric toothbrush. You know, did you realize that the vibration of the toothbrush actually helps kill off the bacteria in your mouth? So that's why it's so much more effective than a regular toothbrush, you know, because you can't get that high vibration going in there with your hand. So, you know, that, and it actually helps your gums. I used to have, as a, when I was younger, an issue with receding gums. And you know that electronic toothbrush, dentists from another country actually suggested that a while back ago. And, you know, I haven't had any gum problems ever since using the electronic toothbrush, because it will kill all the bacteria right under your gums and all that stuff. So that's just another, you know, understanding of how vibrations can do certain things, right? Because the other aspect is that if you're personally are in high enough vibration, you know, viruses don't exist in the high vibration. So you will not catch a virus, for example. You catch a virus when you're in low vibrations, okay? So interesting stuff like that, you know? So then recently, I have actually come to learn to work with water. Now, water is an interesting element because you can actually, water has memory, and you can actually store information in water energetically, and it acts as if it was that thing. All right. Now, there's a guy by the name of Japanese businessman by the name of Emoto Masaru. He actually studied all this stuff, and I don't know if you ever seen his water crystals. You know, he believed that that human consciousness could affect the molecular structure of water, okay? And he even wrote a book called The Hidden Messages in Water, and it was a New York Times bestseller. And he basically thought that water could react to positive thoughts and words, and that polluted water could be actually cleaned through prayer and positive visualization. Can you imagine? I mean, this is amazing stuff, you know, and we don't realize that about water. And Emoto also said that water was a blueprint of our reality, and that emotional energies and vibrations could change its physical structure. And he had actually some kind of a machine where he, you know, played music to it, or certain words to it, words of love versus negative words, and the water would form different crystals, and he would photograph them, and they would be completely different based on what you send to the water, what energy. And so it's all very fascinating. And the other, you know, where I experienced something similar where water retains energy is through an acupuncturist I saw years ago. And he would help you eliminate allergies through this particular method of acupuncture. And he would muscle test you with these little vials that just plain water, right? But they would be a substance, like one vial could be an orange, or another vial could be a mushroom, or soy sauce or whatever was programmed into the water, and the water would act as if it's that substance. And so he would muscle test you with that to see if you're allergic to it. So that was another example of using water and the energy that you can program the water with to, do certain things with it, right? So then recently what I have learned actually is how to use this water, how to program the water with specific supplements I needed to aid my body. And so one of the things I used it for is to making chlorine dioxide. And chlorine dioxide has become a little bit popular. I mean, quite a few people know about it, I think. It's also called the mineral miracle solution or something like that. And this man invented that, and it's a combination of different chemical substances, and it kills viruses, it kills fungi in your body, it kills bacteria in your body. I killed the COVID-19 virus in my body with it. It also neutralizes poisons. I have done a lot of detoxification of different toxins that I contracted. With that, it is very effective, but I have made it not chemically, but energetically with water. And it works wonderfully, okay? I've also made things like different enzymes I needed to detoxify certain cells to, with some of these neurotoxins that we're exposed to, that we're eating actually on our fruits and vegetables as a result of the pesticides and the stuff being sprayed are actually quite dangerous, and they glue themselves onto your cells permanently, if you get enough of that stuff, it can cause paralysis of your muscles as well as your lungs. And so I've been able to create certain enzymes needed to basically flush this stuff from your cells and bind to it so that your body could release it. And I did it all energetically with water, okay? And I teach on this exactly how to do that in the 12-month Alchemy for Healers. So if you're interested in learning this kind of stuff, I can teach it to you. It's amazing the things you can do with it. I even helped my dog with creating a certain supplement that instead of buying it, I opted to actually create it with water energetically, gave it to my dog. It worked for her to actually reduce her, she's had some allergies and she was really itching, scratching. And so it kind of calmed that down a bit. And so it worked for my dog, so this is amazing stuff. This is like, what I'm sharing with you is 5D stuff over here, okay? And you can learn all this. I can teach this all to you, and it works wonders. So that's, energy with water, and all the stuff you can create with, like, instead of buying CBD, you can create CBD with water, so I've done many things like that, even probiotics, specific probiotics I needed to kill a certain fungus, certain mycotoxin that I contracted from fermenting sauerkraut, believe it or not, and you can actually get that. And, I had to have certain probiotics and I couldn't even find them out there anywhere. So I created them energetically. I asked my spirit, is it going to work? Yep. Okay, great. So I created them energetically with water. It's amazing. So anyway, another form of energies we use, I'm sure you've heard of, for example, healing with crystals. Crystals hold certain energies. I actually use a crystal in my water, which is the quartz crystal, which can also be programmed with energy, and it holds it, forever, the information you give it, as opposed to water may hold it for like an hour or two, but then the information kind of subsides. So the crystal actually keeps reprogramming the water to kind of, keep it constantly being, there, the information. So I use quartz crystals for that. And, Reiki, it's become popular. Reiki is a way of hands-on with energy, right? In the form of healing. Also, Reiki can be done verbally. That's the same idea of energy, And, you know, singing bowls, sound is also energy that we can heal with. Also, you know, we are energy, right? We have energy, we have a certain vibration about us, certain frequencies. And so do you realize we actually communicate with our energy, with our vibration? You know, 90% of communication happens through our vibration, not verbally. Only 10% is verbal, okay? 90% of our communication happens through vibration. And so think about this, you know, if I say, that's why dogs understand us, okay? Dogs know exactly what you're talking about, even though they don't understand anything verbal you're saying. And so, you know, if you say to the dog, I love you, and you say it in a hateful tone, meaning that you don't love them, that you hate them, and you say, I love you, they will understand the correct meaning of it, which is I hate you, not I love you, okay? See, so it's interesting. And then if you say to them, I hate you, and you mean it in a loving way, they're going to pick up on it being loving and not the words, okay? See, we communicate through vibration. And it's interesting because, and I don't want to make this too long, but there is a vibrational tone scale, okay, that we can measure our vibration on as to where we are on which frequency. So say, for example, if you're experiencing a lot of fear, you're probably you're in a very low vibrational frequency. Whereas if you're experiencing love up here, love is very high on the frequency, on the tone scale. And so what that means is that you experience life very differently when you're in the frequency of fear versus when you're in the frequency of love. And so I was going to put up a chart, but we're kind of running out of time, and I don't want to make the video too long for you. But, you know, we can alter where on this tone scale we are based on, you know, healing with energies and frequencies, as I've mentioned with my area quantum healing, by actually transforming our pain into wisdom for the soul with energies such as unconditional love, forgiveness, and compassion, and so forth. And so, you know, as a healer, it's important to understand this kind of stuff. And it's important for you to actually do it on yourself too, because as you experience it, not only are you actually raising your vibration as you experience healing, and you're actually priming your vibration for success with healing certain aspects. So I don't want to get into it, but you change, you're altering your reality, how you experience your reality. And so, you know, it's important from that standpoint to really use it on yourself, to help yourself vibrationally, to be in the right space as a healer, so that you can actually raise somebody else's vibration. They don't pull you down, because that happens too, right? Depending on where you're at vibrationally. But also it helps you understand when you're actually experiencing on yourself, so that you can help somebody else with it. And so it's really critical to really understand this stuff as a healer, and to use it and to experience it on yourself. And here's and I believe that this is the future of medicine. This is where we're headed, at least in the 5 dimension, okay? The 3rd dimension is probably going to still practice that whole Western medicine thing. And, you know, okay, so it's the future of medicine, I believe. And here's my prize question to you, okay? Now, it's going to consist of a little bit of an exercise and a little bit of an experiment for you, okay? And it's with using unconditional love. As I mentioned, it's the most transformational energy in existence, okay, that we can use. And I'm not talking about romance, okay? I'm talking about the energy of love, unconditional love specifically. And I'm going to kind of help you to use it on yourself in sort of an experimental way. So what I want you to do and it's going to be in a meditative state. I want you to basically bring unconditional love into your heart for yourself and hold it there for about 15 minutes. And then observe as to what will show up for you. Because one of the things that unconditional love also does, it brings to the light, it brings to the surface the stuff that needs healing. And so different people have different experiences with that exercise. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. And then I want you to imagine your heart being kind of like a pocket in your chest. And I want you to fill it up with unconditional love. Just imagine filling it up, just pouring it in there. And if you can't quite get into the feel of what it feels like, imagine, you know, if you have a person that you love, a child, a parent, a spouse, just imagine the love you have for them, the unconditional love you have for them. And you just feel it in your heart. Okay, just imagine that, put it into your heart and hold it there for about 15 minutes. And just kind of with your eyes closed, all I want you to do is just sit there and observe yourself. Okay, you may experience nothing. You may experience things showing up, you know, emotions, perhaps feelings, perhaps thoughts, you know, just observe yourself. And then the prize question is this. After you do this exercise, I want you to share what your experience was with this unconditional love exercise, and just kind of get a feel for working with unconditional love, with the energy of unconditional love. So I hope this will be a fun thing for you and kind of enlightening. And I hope you enjoyed the talk and, you know, learned something. And with this, we will end the talk for today. And yeah, that's it. I think I got everything here. So I want to wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Until next time. Bye now.